Alright. Welcome to Exploring Southern Oregon's Roads. We are here on Beaver Creek Road in the Applegate today. This is a very interesting road. There's a residential area down at the bottom of the road here. We're off Upper Applegate Road. Now this residential area, they seem to value people not going a bajillion miles an hour through their little hamlet here. So for about 2 miles there's a nice little quiet area where I can do a nice intro. This road doesn't really go anywhere. I have kind of accidentally come down this road in a video before. I think that was the last exploration video. No, it was the one before. I don't know if that even got uploaded or not. Regardless, this road goes from Upper Applegate Road. It goes past this kind of residential area. I recommend people actually go slow through here because there are a large number of wild turkeys. There's also people that ride horses on the road, and there's kids that do live in some of these places here, so go slow. After you get past that, there is a campground. It was closed due to COVID all of last summer, as far as I know. If you keep going past that, there's some access roads for a mining claim. I believe those are private roads, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm not going down any of them today. But eventually this road does turn from pavement into dirt, and it does go quite far. We are still in Oregon up here, but this road can get you down into California on dirt roads. It's also kind of twisty. It's also very fun to drive. And when we have windstorms, there's usually at least one tree down across the paved section of this road. Blocking the road. Rock fall on the left there. Anyone worried about snow? It's over 50 degrees, so we're not going to see any down here. Today. This is fairly steep uphill. Again, I don't think the camera paved but does not have suggested speed signs for the entry of each curve or section of curves. By paved, I mean properly paved. This is actual asphalt, so. Section of it. That turn there and this pothole and this pothole are my indications to slow down for the transition from the paved road onto the unpaved. That sign should also be kind of a giveaway. Now they've been doing some logging off the side road. Well, it turns to dirt here, and then right on the right there's a kind of turnout for an area where they've been doing a lot of logging. Where these old guys were unloading their ATVs. Wow, look at the road. Looks like a tree fell down across the road or something. It's still over 50 degrees. I'll bet I can get up to that first junction before it gets snowed in. Give me a moment here. I need to put my rattle defeater in. road tends to get very bad washboard very frequently. I think they come up twice a year and they grade it, and then it's... My research on the internet has shown that the washboard actually is caused by vehicles driving on the road itself. So the more traffic it gets, the more washboard it gets, and the more severe it is. And apparently it's caused by a harmonic vibration or bouncing from... Basically you hit a bump and then your tire bounces a few times, and that starts this washboard, and then subsequent vehicles exasperate it until it's genuinely painful to drive on. If you want to do a lot of off-road driving, make sure you have a vehicle that you don't care if it has a lot of rattles, because you're going to make lots of rattles by driving on this stuff. This is actually not bad. They must have recently graded this. I believe that rain can also make it worse. It'll wash out the material at the bottom of the... Oh yeah, this is pretty bad. Now I hear a ballast rattling again. I hate those things. Now, for anyone really curious, coming up the paved section, I think the highest RPM I ran under throttle was 3,000. I might have pushed it to 3,250 once. Recommend staying to the right, even if it's really bouncy, because I'll put it this way: I have never been on a wreck on one of these roads, and I attribute part of that to always staying to the right. This road, the right side of the road going uphill, is the worst. Left side looks really appealing because it's really smooth, but when you're coming downhill, you don't want to have to hit your brakes for someone driving on the wrong side of the road. I also advise caution, because I was parked kind of at the end of one of these turns, like right where I was there, and some idiot on a quad was coming down the road at a bajillion miles an hour and carried too much speed into the turn, and he was running wide, and he just about hit me. I had simply jumped out to take a pit stop. And yeah, there's another recommendation, is if you need to stop for a pit stop, pull off the side on a straight section, because people can see you further away. And right now it's obviously very wet up here, but during the summertime this road is a dusty hell. It's not as bad as it used to be. They constantly grade it, add gravel, and they don't spray. But it's better than it used to be. But it's still, if you're following someone else coming up here, you're sucking a lot of dust. Looks like this ranch is still for sale. Actually, I don't think there's a building up here. I think it's just property, grazing land. I'm sure someone out there is crazy enough to buy it and build an actual house up here, but you'd have to park a vehicle further down and then have a snowmobile for certain days. Oy. managed to get a new rattle. Hey, I think that may have fixed it. Nope. Must be in the headliner. Wiring for the dome light or something. Well, whatever. Driving on these roads, I'm surprised I only have that one rattle under the hood. One in the door. And one in the ceiling. Yeah. The suspension in the Baja is so much softer than the suspension was in a WRX. It would just about give you brain damage coming up here in a WRX, hitting these washboard at it's like the massage you just didn't want to begin with. And of course I'm actually driving like in it. Temperature's actually warmer up here than it was down below. It was about 50 in Medford. It was about 51 at the bottom of Beaver Creek Road, and it's about 56 up here, according to my temperature gauge. I know from experience that the washboard on this turn can be really bad. There's two methods you can use to deal with washboard. Well, there's three. One is just don't even come up here and avoid it entirely. The other is to go slow. Going slow is the least painful for your vehicle and yourself. Or you can go really fast, and that's the most painful for your vehicle and less painful for yourself. I would definitely recommend going slow. Personal experience. I mean, if you're going fast enough that the first bump gives you some air, then you know you're going way too fast. The rhythmic bouncing can also damage tires at higher speeds. Actually, there's another method too. You can air down your tires. I wouldn't recommend that unless you have super gumbo blasters, I guess is the term. The really large diameter lighting tires that are AT, all-terrain. Knowing a car tire can damage the car tire. I technically have SUV tires, well, SUV snow tires on here, and they would not handle being aired down. That reminds me, I need to order a air pump, air compressor. I think the problem with the Baja is that you got an open bed. There's nowhere to put it. I mean, you can put it in the bed, but what's to keep someone from walking off with it? You know, if you park somewhere. It's a little too slow for fourth gear. Whoops. I could put it in the back seat, but I got a lot of stuff back there already for work. I've got a bag, like a shoulder bag, a big one. I have my supplies for work in it. Sanitation wipes and some spray. traction cleats for the ice. Got some paper towels, hand sanitizer, you know, cleaning stuff mostly. I've got a clipboard for work. I've got legal documents in that, so I can't really, I don't need them for when I'm not working, but you know, they're not really legal documents, they're licensing I don't know what they are there. It's required for work, I'll leave it at that. And if I lose them or they get stolen, they're not going to actually help anyone else. And I can get them reprinted. So, anyway, what else do I have back there? I've got a jacket, and then another jacket, and my safety vest, high-vis vest. And what else do I have back there? Oh yeah, I got some boots, work boots. Oh, that's a little snow there. Got work boots. I got some socks, head work boots, because I usually wear a shorter, athletic style sock. Got some water. I usually have some emergency food for when I'm up here exploring, but this isn't exploring. I've been up this road many, many, many times. There's no room for an air compressor. I'm a mathematical nightmare, just a collection of terrible tangents. Exactly does this road go? So this road continues up. It splits a few times, but if you continue going up, you wind up at Grouse Gap, which is Forest Service Road 20, I believe. Ooh, I forgot to start my oh well, I was gonna fire up and make a GPS track, but I wasn't actually planning on driving on the unpaved part of this. I was gonna do the paved part. I didn't realize how short it was. So this road goes up to Grouse Gap. There's a couple of intersections and splits on the way, but I don't know where some of those go. But if you continue up to the main intersection at Grouse Gap, going right takes you out into the wilderness. And when I say out into the wilderness, I've gone down that road like 4 or 5 hours and not found where it really goes. It's somewhere in California. Going left on that road takes you back to Mount Ashland, the ski area. Oh wow, I'm really kicking that snow out. It's very slushy. I just shot out a rooster tail from the right side of the... Yeah, this is going to become impassable fairly quickly here. It's not impassable yet. I need to put it into second gear. This is probably going to be the end of this video because I don't want to go much further and get stuck. And this snow it's so warm up here. And this is actually a lot deeper than I was expecting. In fact, right here looks like an amazingly good spot to turn around. I have the tires to handle this, but I don't want to bite off more than I can chew. So I was going to turn around and keep going. You can tell though that people have been up here. Yeah, I didn't make it to the intersection. I'm surprised. The intersection is just up ahead, though. This is where I'm going to turn around and head back. However, before that, I need to make a quick pit stop. Eee. Oh no, I got my sock all dirty. Dang it. Oh well. I'll have to clean it later. Ooh, cow pie. Almost stepped it. Alright, well, welcome back to Exploring Southern Oregon's Roads. I am up on Beaver Creek Road, not that far from Upper Applegate Road. I found some snow because, you know, wintertime. Heading back in the snow, because snow is fun. It's actually kind of scary going uphill in the snow, but going downhill in the snow, it's like, yeah. It's like opposite of driving in pavement and wet pavement, going down hills. Anyway, this is just the return trip from where I turned around and almost got stuck, but didn't because I was going backwards. So yeah, I might put a little clip at the end as a amusement thing. Outtake, that's the word. This is kind of the conditions that you can run into up here occasionally, where it's 50 degrees but there's snow. And we're out of it now. This is pretty much the end of it. But that kind of snow can be really difficult to drive in. If it's been there for a while. Like tonight, if it drops down under freezing, and it's going to for sure, that section up there will turn into a grade F mess. It becomes very slippery. There's very little traction. It's very rutted, and if you break through, like there's a crust on the surface. If you break through that, you can get high centered, or you can have your tires in a rut that you just can't drive out of. Then you have to get out, and if you have a shovel, then you have to chip away at the ice until you make a little ramp where you can drive out. Yeah, it's not fun. So if it was like 20 degrees up here, I would have probably turned around at the very first sight of snow. Regardless, this is Beaver Creek Road. I'm just gonna head back down. I'll probably say something before we hit the pavement, and then I'll say something again down at the bottom about the residential area. Side of the bump, so it probably tears it up a little bit driving over them. You can see a lot of the water running down here from that snow melting up above. It's really warm in here. Oh hell. YOLO. Curious, I opened the moonroof. Slid it back out of the way. I didn't pop it up in the back like some knob. Oh man, that air is so clear and clean. Fresh, crisp. It's not cold, but it's cool. Sorry if it's ruining the audio quality. Not really anything I can do about it. I want my window open, man. Alright, now I'm getting cool. Close that halfway. There we go. Now I'm getting just enough cool air that it's keeping me cool, but it's not freezing me. This road on the right, I do not know where it goes. It's also gated. Well, the gate's open. Let me rephrase that. The posts are there, but the gate is missing. I'm assuming those are forest access roads for the Forest Service. Shot the sign. Please don't do that. It costs the county money and someone has to come back up here and replace it. You're shooting your own tax dollars. What the heck is wrong with you? This road on the left, the road on the left, which distracted me, I almost ran off the road there. The road on the left is a forest fire access road. I believe they used that 3 years ago for there was a big fire down here. They used that as an access. And then there was a road on the right, and that one had a gate across it that was actually there this time. I don't know where that one goes. I don't know where either of them go. Now the intersection that I almost made it to, there's a road that goes on the right up there. That one also was being used 3 years ago during the summer for a forest fire. They had fire trucks and water trucks and personnel transports and stuff like that going down it. Happens when you're going downhill and you're on the brakes is you actually tear the tops off of the washboard, and so it smooths it out by itself, whereas when you're going uphill it doesn't rip the top off, it actually builds it up. And it's nice and smooth going downhill, and it's a nightmare going uphill. And these roads off the side of the main road here are access for this grazing land property here. This is a nice little piece of land. There's a little man-made pond down by the tree further down. Freaking cow staring at me. Another person exploring. They're not going to get much further before they hit the snow. on the left that goes somewhere, but that looked like it was more like a hunting trail or something. Don't know where it goes. Remember to shut that moonroof before I get down to the bottom, back on the pavement. Yet again, another road. Oh, that one goes to a little camping spot. Doesn't go anywhere. Yeah, there's little side roads and pull-outs and stuff for camping, and I've never camped up here. I'd like to. I think if I was able to get a little pop-up trailer that I could actually tow behind the little Subaru here, I'd probably do it. It's kind of limited on what I can get because the towing capacity is so low. Well, I mean, I guess I could get something a little bit over the capacity and not worry about it. Just using first gear to keep me slow. Didn't have to touch brakes there. Yeah, when I come out and drive, it lets me think. Lets me plan out stuff. I finally solidified in my mind a plan for the storage vault. I've decided I'm going to get six terabyte hard drives, NAS drives, and put them all in a RAID 5. I think that'll give me 24 terabytes of storage. And the best part is it's redundant. I think I can have one drive fail, and I could replace the drive with a new one and rebuild the array and retain all of my data. Take forever and a day, but it can be done. Now the problem is, do I have enough room in that computer case for 6 terabyte or six terabyte hard drives? One or the other. I'm not very experienced with RAID 5. I've never used it before, but it scared the heck out of me. Yeah, now we're down at the bottom again. And it should give me more capacity and better read performance than using 6 terabyte hard drives in RAID 1. Much higher capacity. I think I'd lose 1 drive's worth of capacity with RAID 5, but I'd lose 3 drives worth of capacity for RAID 1. yeah, that's my plan. I'm probably gonna have to. Oh yeah, that also reminds me why I haven't had any videos going up lately. There's two primary reasons for that. One, my stomach's been kind of messed up lately, so I've been staying home on the weekends and on my days off. And two, the 3 terabyte hard drive that I was using as a storage drive in my gaming/editing PC started clicking, and I actually spent, well, I didn't spend, my Xeon Vault computer spent 60 some hours transcoding all of my raw footage to a lower quality. I was able to take more or less 2 terabytes of video and compress it all down to, I think it was a couple hundred gigabytes. So it's all backed up, but not at the same time. So that's kind of, I didn't want to put more footage on that drive because if it fails, I'd lose it. But I think what I'm going to do for this video is I'll leave it on the camera and I'll leave the audio on my phone. And I'll copy it over, but I won't delete it, basically. And then that way, I have a new 4 terabyte hard drive in the mail to replace the 3 terabyte drive. It's a NAS drive, so it should be more reliable and capable than what I've got. Which is weird because I've got a 7200 RPM Seagate drive, but I'm going to be replacing it with a 5400 RPM Western Digital NAS drive. I also decided, after looking at pricing, availability, durability, MTBF, etc., that the Western Digital NAS drives, the WD Reds, are just a better price to performance to durability proposition. So I'm going to go with the WD Reds. They're expensive, but so are the Iron Wolves, the Seagates. I don't really want one of those anyway. I thought about getting some enterprise drives. They're actually cheaper, but they're louder, and just not going to do that. I also considered SAS, serial attached SCSI, but I'd have. If SAS is actually kind of funny. SAS uses the same connector as SATA, but a SAS drive can't be connected to a SATA controller. But you can connect SATA drives to a SAS controller. Whatever. The SAS I have room in that machine for a SAS controller, but not going to do it. They're very expensive, and I'd have to move my graphics card into the 8X slot. I don't think I even have an 8X slot in that one. Doesn't really matter. The cost of going with six terabyte SAS drives was 4 times higher than just getting NAS capable SATA drives. I also already have 2 add-in PCIe 1X SATA controllers, SATA controller add-in cards. I think I have 8 or 10 SATA ports in that machine, so I should be absolutely fine for ports in that machine. I do not know at all about. I haven't opened that machine up in a little while, so I can't remember what it looks like in there. I think what I'm going to end up having to do is get that machine is so old that it actually has 5 1/4 drive bays. Has 4 of them. I think 3 of them are free. It's a rock. So I think what I'm going to do is get a hot swap drive bay. If I can find one that's not garbage. Or maybe not even a hot swap one, just an adapter. I don't really know. I have 5 1/4 to 3 1/2 adapters, but I can only put 1 drive per bay. And I think if I were to get a unified 3-bay adapter, I can put 4 drives in that area. I also have room, I think I have room for 5 drives down below. I have a 2 terabyte hard drive in that machine already, and a SATA drive, and that's it right now. Windows is on the SATA drive, and then all of my backup stuff's on the 2 terabyte. That's a very old 2 terabyte drive, and it has a lot of hours on it, a lot of uptime, but its spin up and spin down count is really low because I literally never reboot that machine unless I have to. And just in general, I just realized something. Oh, I just realized something else. I also ordered a new monitor for my gaming rig. It's a 27-inch monitor. I'm going to move my 24s to my other computer, the Vault. Vault's got a 550 Ti in it. Doesn't have ports for that. Anyways, what was I saying originally? Yeah, this driving helps me get my thoughts in order. So I'm going to be getting that 6 terabyte drives, figuring out some way of taping them into tape them to the sides of the case, I guess, and then just run it like that. And that 3 terabyte drive dying is the reason I haven't been making videos. It's the primary reason. That should be resolved soon, so there's hoping that I get more videos coming out soon. While I'm recording this right now, I have a video currently being reviewed by myself for upload. Well, it's uploaded. I'm just reviewing quality. It's the return trip from my last exploration video up above Applegate Lake. Well, south of Applegate Lake. That's a good video. You get to see me in it, I think. Maybe it's a different video. Maybe this one's from, I don't remember. That one should be hopefully going live before this one gets uploaded. Other than that, that video and this video, I don't have anything in queue right now. I haven't... I want to replace that 3 terabyte drive eventually with a, well, I'm getting a 4 terabyte NAS drive to replace it. But I'm also looking at getting another 2 terabyte SATA drive. So, we'll see. They're not in stock right now. They're not available. And now we are back on Upper Applegate Road. I guess I should wrap this up, shouldn't I? Thanks for watching. Have a great day.